Hi, this is Robin Curtis coming from my sweet little house in Casanova, New York. And I understand that I have the honor today of addressing the crew of the Raumschiff Eberswalde. Did I get that right? I hope I did. And you have asked me a very sweet and touching question. And that is, what is my most cherished memory of Star Trek? And I don't have a simple answer, because if I respond to you with my heart, what comes up first is the fact that my dad, who was 53 at the time in 1983, was diagnosed with cancer for the second time, just cresting that 5-year sort of moment, you know, when cancer patients are supposed to feel like they've reached an important milestone. And it was June of 1983 that we found out he had cancer and it had metastasized. And then in August of 1983, I was cast as Lieutenant Saavik in Star Trek III, The Search for Spock. And this was just the most amazing gift to my family at a time when we were struggling with such grief. The happiness that Star Trek brings, the message that it resonates, the idea that my parents had supported me since I was, ever since I discovered I was a creative human being, that they had supported me so wholeheartedly and financially and every other way. This was an incredible gift, to them, and really a beacon for my whole family as we struggled with this horrible thing that was happening. There was the shooting of the film in the fall of 1983 into the winter. And then the film was edited that winter and released in June, I believe, of 1984. And miraculously, my dad lived long enough to see the movie. And I went to the premiere at the Riverside Mall, just outside of Utica, where I grew up. And I attended with my grandparents and my mother and father. My father was in a very fragile state at that point, having undergone chemotherapy, and my younger brother and my older brother and his wife, and it was just a big night for our family, and a way to forget our pain for a little while. This magnificent, wonderful thing called Star Trek, and it just so happened that my older brother was a big fan of the show, so I immediately got a telegram for him when I was cast, live long and prosper. And my parents sent me a message that said, "May the force be with you." And I said, "Guys, that's a beautiful sentiment, but wrong franchise." And the other memories that I associate most specifically with Star Trek really have to do with the cast, and I really want to name everybody: George, Walter, Nichelle, Dee, Jimmy, and of course Bill and Leonard. Mr. Nimoy was my hero. I shook his hand the first day of filming, at least my first day on the set, and I said, "Mr. Nimoy, you seem to think I know what I'm doing." And I let him know most assuredly I did not. And he promised me at that time that he would take me every step of the way, and that he would never put me out on a limb and leave me dangling there by myself. And he fulfilled that promise through 8 weeks of shooting. Every time there was a scene in which I was engaged, we sat down on the soundstage somewhere together and we talked through it. And I will be forever grateful for his kindness, for his intelligence, his artistry, his creativity. The guy is a class act. And of course, he was aware of what was going on with my dad in the background. And he reminded me of my father, being of the same age and same, tall, dark, handsome type. And so there was a sweet sensitivity and connection with him and from him. And that meant a lot to me. And of course, in all the years since, guys, this has nothing to do with the filming and nothing to do with my mom and dad anymore, really, except that I've found enormous fraternity and camaraderie and friendship in the family that I call Star Trek. You guys are amazing. And I am grateful every time I have the privilege of being with you or talking to you, sharing some time on this crazy planet with you. It means the world to me. So thank you for your question. Thank you for reaching out. I hope each of you is doing well in life and happy and laughing and following Gene Roddenberry's principles, you know, to celebrate infinite differences and infinite combinations with tolerance and love. Live long and prosper, guys. Bye.